Welcome to a guide to new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Thursday the 22nd of August and we have new mods, some very cool new mods. I really do like these. I'm going to start off with the Fear Agri in the middle. This is the Fear Agri 16055. This is by Pepe978 and zexell. Now, it did say in the Modhub, or in the Farming Simulator website Modhub, this was an update. I don't remember this coming out on console, so I'm assuming the part of the update was it coming to console. I remember having it on FS17, but not on 19. I just want to apologise in advance, one for farm dog barking, but two, it turns out the last couple of videos I've done, I have actually got tonsillitis and a kidney infection. Wondrous. So I'm struggling a little bit with my voice, my throat. I've got strepsils. That's just been wondrous. Anyway, you don't need to worry about that. Let's crack on. I came onto flat map because I find it easier to place things and stuff, but the lighting hasn't been particularly great, so I'll just make do with what I've got. Anyway, the Fear Agri 16055. This is improved massively since the 17 version. The detailing on it, it's crisp. It looks absolutely fantastic. I really do like this a lot. High horsepower, fairly cheap price. You can't odds that at all. Let's have a look in the store. Now, interesting, this is under medium tractors, not small tractors. We'll scroll right across. There you go. The 16055. Now it says New Holland Agriculture. You can have it as either 45,000 standard, which is pretty cool. This will use up 9 slots, which isn't too bad as a tractor goes. 160 horsepower as well. That's no slouch for the price either. So, options available. Now, this is an unusual one. It says design colour. Let's go around. It says New Holland 16055 with Fear Agri underneath it, but design colour, you can have New Holland or Fear Agri. Now I couldn't discern a difference between those two. Just look at the badge work. No. So you might as well just go with the New Holland because it won't cost you anything. Anyway, configuration. We can have it standard with a 500 kilogram front weight, 800 kilogram front weight. It's a bit easier to see like that. We can have rear 3-point linkage on the back. If you have the front weights, as we just had, you don't have a rear 3-point link. You do have a trailer hitch, and there's a PTO on the back there. So if we go across one more, we've got the rear link. We can have lift and weight. That's weird. Lift and weight. Assume it's just the rear link. And weight. 900 kilogram, and then back to standard. And then designs, we can have without cabin as a New Holland. We can have with a cab as a New Holland. And then we can have Fear Agri, so it changes the scheme from New Holland 16055 to the Fear Agri, and then you can have Fear Agri with cabin. I think it looks great, but that's not the best bit. The best bit is this. Listen. That startup sound is fantastic. Now listen. I think it's brilliant. It looks great. It sounds fantastic. Right, lights off. So we've got front lights on. Main work lights on. Rear work lights. We've got reverse light. Then we've got our indicators. Like so. Plenty of detail on the back going on too. In cab. Looks like this. Dial goes on the dash. Controls. I love it. I love it. So let's do lights. Lights on. Work lights. Main work lights. Off again. Not down there. Indicators. Just a tiny little light down the bottom you might just be able to see. Put the other one on. Like that. It doesn't have a beacon, does it? It doesn't. But love it. I'm going to turn it off again. Just so I can hear it start up again. Awesome. That's by Pepe978 and Zexell. I can see myself using this. The tracks look amazing. And it's not too loud. Controls are all great as well. Anyway, there you go. I could just drive that around for ages. That's the first of our mods for today. Next up, just as cool, if not cooler. We have got. I really am. The lighting is really disappointing on this today. Sorry. This is the Fortschritt E281C pack. This is by Aaa Modding or AAA Modding. Excuse me, going a bit squeaky. This comes with the main forage harvester, and it's a forage harvester. We've got a pipe on the back. Now it looks a little bit like the E303, which was the mower. And this comes with 3 separate headers. We have got the, I want to get them right, the E299, the E296B and the E294. We'll have a look at those in store in a second. Again, fantastic looking mod. I'll turn my light on so you can see. Great detail, Fortschritt colours. This is another one. I love this. Anyway, let's have a look in store. So you will find it under forage harvesters, and it's just there, the E281C, 64,000, so it's not too expensive to buy either. It's 175 horsepower. It is how many slots? 22. It's quite heavy on the slot count, but then it does do a fair amount. I suppose when you look at some of the other ones, we've got 34 slots. The Rosselmash only 9 though. Okay. 14 for the New Hollands. I suppose 22 is a little bit high, but I think for what you get, I think it's worth it. I really do. Options available. We can change the rim colour to like a light green. It is a very, very light green, or a yellow if you want to go for that. We can change the configuration from standard to brown without decals. Well, the decals are kind of on the side bit there. Or we can go with the decals there. Then we can go green, like that, and back to standard. So kind of 3-4 options, 3 main colour options, but a couple of options there on the decals. Very nice. As far as headers go, you'll find those under forage harvester headers. And this is kind of takes you between the standard harvesters and the Mex here, the Mex 5, which is quite a small forage header. But that one only does corn, to be fair. So if we scroll across, we come to the 3 we have. So the E299, 14,000, that's 11 slots, and that's your corn header. Then we come across one, and we have got the E296B. Now that one will do grass, wheat. That's a kind of multi-crop header. Soybean. So if you want to put anything through as forage, it will do that, which is quite cool. It doesn't do sunflower or anything like that, but it will do those crops. That is also 11 slots, and then we've got the E294, which is only 7 slots, and this is one that it's a pickup one. It will pick up grass, and it does say hay. I know on some of the other forage harvesters people had trouble doing hay with them, but anyway, so those are the 3 headers. Options in each are the same colours. You've got the blue, the brown and the green, so you can match it up with the main cab type, whichever one you've decided to go for. I've gone for kind of a mixture. Now one thing I did check, I did test. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, right. Because that's kind of a mower, although it's like an all-crop mower head. It's 4.6 metres. With the E303, there's a 5-metre mower head. And I wondered whether or not they were interchangeable, and they're not. These ones are specifically for the E281C. They won't go on to the other E303, but I thought I'd have a look. So, what do? Well, again, let's start with... I think we'll start with the pickup one. Door opens and closes when you get in and out. I get back in again. This is, again, get ready. Turning circle is brilliant. I just love it. Sounds great. The E303 was quite noisy. Now this one has got the pickup header on it. This is the E294 header, so we're going to go and pick up in a minute. This has got a beacon on top as well. Lights off, front lights, and then rear lights at the back. The pipe we will have a look at in just a second. In cab, pretty sparse. There's not a lot going on. It's a very tight, confined cab. Sounds almost like it's electric. It's incredible. Now, it has got a trailer hitch in the back. That's so it can tow the various, because the cutter header has its own little header trailer. We'll have a look at that in a minute. It will hook up to pin hitch trailers like this, but it won't hook up to ball hitch trailers. Just the way it's configured. So, put it back up. And there we go. Now, unfortunately, I did speed up time, so you can't actually see that. That's helpful, isn't it? You can't actually see the swath on the floor. It is there. There's a swath in amongst the grass, which I cut earlier, but I sped up time to try and get some better lighting, and it didn't really have much effect. So I put on the help bar. So I pipe out, L1 and down, just opens up, and it just makes it then aware of the trailer, like so. Then we turn on harvester. No. Turn on harvester. And then we pick up. So if you've mowed with something else but you want to collect with this. Now interestingly, it is a forage harvester, but it is still saying grass on there because technically it's grass that's picked up. There you go. Works really well. So that's the first of them. So that's the E294, that's the pickup header. Turn it off. Close that. Let's go back and get one of the next ones. Now I know the colours are slightly off because this is a different one. I just bought it out to have it ready to go. Start it up. This is the mower header as such, but it will do crops as well. Same thing, we need to do pipe out. Oh, it already was. Turn it on. Hang on. Turn it on. And away we go. I love it. Love it. It's brilliant. .6 metre header. Right, what we'll do is disconnect from the trailer. I'll show you what I mean about the header trailer. It's pretty much like it was in the E303. If I do that, we fold header, L1 and X, and it puts out the actual header trailer itself, and then we disconnect it, pipe in, there we go. So we can actually take our header with us, but at only 4.6 metres it makes more sense to bring the header on the front with the trailer on the back, I think personally, but you can transport it like this with the header on If you want to do it that way round, it's entirely up to you. And then last of all, so here we have the corn header. This is the E29. Now you can attach a trailer on the back like you can with the other ones and just have it go directly into a trailer, or you can run it, if I set this up, you can adjust the reel, you can have it so you can run a tractor alongside, which is what we're going to do in a second. You can adjust the reel, I think it's L1 and up and down, so you can adjust the reel height if you want to make it more realistic. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to set it about there, hire a worker. What I'll do now, let's get my tractor and trailer, come alongside, and away we go. Animations are great, it works really well. What we will do, let's just disconnect that, out the way, because otherwise you can do it of course. Hook up to the trailer. And do it yourself with the trailer on the back. Away you go. This is very, very cool. I like it. Like I say, the animations look great as well. So it's kind of somewhere between the Max 5 and the bigger harvesters. Obviously the bigger harvesters can have a much bigger throughput depending on the size of the header. But a really cool kit, a bit of kit. I really do like it from Aaa Modding. I do like their Fort Street gear, and this is no exception. I'm liking it a lot. So there we go. Stop there. Fantastic. Which brings us on to the last of our mods, which is this. Now you may well have seen this on various different maps at sawmills and things like that. This is the crane building by DD ModPassion. This can be placed anywhere and used for loading or unloading of goods. Logs would be the kind of obvious thing. I don't think this would be particularly good for pallets and stuff. And I suppose the question would be, why would you want to? If you want to add a more kind of realistic feel to a sawmill experience, that kind of thing, I think this would work really well. If there's I don't know how it would be actually replacing over a train line or something like that, but you can have a bit of a play around with it. I put the concrete base on. When you place it, it just places it down without a base. It just put it down on the grass here, so I put the kind of texture on underneath it, which again you can do whatever you like with it, and it took that no problem at all. As far as the crane operation goes, we go up into the cab. You might have used one of these before on a map. I'm way too far away from the map. There we go. Okay, so let's open up the controls. L1 on my right stick, up and down does the side to side motion. Side to side on the right stick does our kind of forwards and backwards or sides. It obviously depends on your position. That might make more sense to you. And up and down on the controller. I mean, when you look at it like that, that actually makes far more sense on the controller. If I go left and right with my right stick, then up and down with my joystick, that kind of makes more sense. Then if I do R1, we've got our up and down on the crane, like so. And then L1, R1, we've got our opening and closing of the crane. Now what we don't have on here, I haven't come across the setting for it, and I've got my Satex side panel plugged in as well. So I did have a try with trying to twist it to see if I get a rotation on that head, and there was no rotation. Now that can be a little bit tricky. If you've done logging, and you'll know that sometimes the logs are on the trailer and they're at a slight angle, without a rotating function, That makes that quite tricky. We've got an open and close, but normally you would have side to side on this and you would have rotation as well. So just something to bear in mind if you are going to use it. I think it's cool to have, you know, these things to be able to place, and you know, it can make a map feel far more immersive. You might have a sawmill that doesn't have one of these, or you might think of 101 other uses that you can find for it. But there you go. That's the crane building. Oh, actually, what we should do is actually have a look at it in here. It's under miscellaneous. Now under here it says railroad crane. In the Modhub it says crane building, but railroad crane, however you want to look at it. It's 100,000, so it's not cheap, and it will use 6 slots. I think I might have already said that, but anyway, yeah, 6 slots. Placing it, as long as the area is fairly flat, you shouldn't have too much of a problem, and you can swing it round whatever direction you want to. But there you go. Now if I just press exit now, it puts me back down on the ground. It doesn't actually matter where the crane is. It doesn't have to be right out here by the steps. If I go up to the top of the steps here and press enter vehicle, it will put me into the crane wherever it is. So there you go. And that's our 3 mods for today, Thursday the 22nd of August. I hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.